Good morning. I'm Joe McGovern, and I'm a second-year MBA student at MIT Sloan. It's my pleasure to introduce our next competitive advantage speakers. Today we have Paul Murray, Senior Manager for Digital and Innovation Marketing at Dunkin Donuts, and Tim Chu, Data Scientist for Digitas LBI. The presentation will last for 30 minutes, including Q&A. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Paul and Tim.
Hey guys, thank you for having us, and thank you for taking time out of your day to come and enjoy what we hope will be an enjoyable session with us. If you like coffee and you like football, or you like the Patriots and you like Dunkin Donuts, this should be a slam dunk. If not, the exit should be right back there. So it should be a fun time, and we're going to walk through some of the learnings we've had in our sports partnerships and our strategic sports partnerships. So to get it kicked off, I'm just going to show you a little video about the DD Perks program, which is Dunkin Donuts loyalty program, and it's really the foundation for all of our digital work and how we are now engaging in the sports world. So, as you can see in that video, a lot of emotion. People get really happy and energized when they get coffee and when they get free coffee. And that's kind of what our loyalty program and our digital platforms are all built on at Dunkin Donuts. As a program owner of loyalty, I have one of the easiest jobs in the world because I am a loyalty manager at Dunkin Donuts, where you have a tremendous amount of loyalty. So people ask, what is it that I actually do, since loyalty is already nailed? And so we do a lot of other things, What we do is we take that at loyalty and we continue to extend it. So Perks is our platform for digital and loyalty, and it's where we reward our guests for their everyday purchases. So to have that loyalty is a big first step, but we need to hold on to it. We need to maintain that loyalty, and we can't ever take it for advantage. We have to grow that, and we do that through a series of tactics and through a series of partnerships, both in the sports world and beyond.
So once guests are enrolled in the DD Perks program, we really just let the analytics and marketing platforms do the heavy lifting and take over. So once guests are enrolled, we're able to start collecting a tremendous amount of data on them across a number of different platforms. So we collect purchase and visitation data through the loyalty platform, digital engagement data through the mobile app and email channels, and also environmental data such as weather data. And between the high volume of transactions, the sheer number of guests that we have enrolled in the program, and the feature engineering that we do with our data, we're able to do a lot of fun modeling work. So we get to dump all the toys out of the analytics toy chest. So it's everything from boosting to network analysis to recommender systems. And with these robust models, they have very practical applications. They enable us to be smarter about how we manage our program, how we personalize and target offers, and also how we generate insights for the larger business beyond just the digital and marketing innovation team. So it's easier, right? So just get folks in the program and just run our models, let them run. But what we sort of discovered early on is actually some more foundational issues. So a few months after we launched the loyalty program, we did some survey work that let us know that 59% of our general guests didn't even know that the program existed. So forget even all the modeling work that we're doing, our guests didn't even know that the program existed. So we had to pivot and really turn our attention to thinking about member acquisition into the program. To complicate things, there's a large segment of guests who thought they were actually enrolled in the program, but actually weren't enrolled in the program. So that presents a number of marketing and communication challenges for us.
Yeah, again, a weird and ironic challenge as a loyalty program owner is your fans are so loyal, and they're so loyal to our brand, they assumed that they were part of a loyalty program somehow, which is great. We've been getting credit for it for a period of time, but not so great when we actually come to deliver really tangible value, great offers, and further and deepen that relationship. They're actually not plugged in, and they're not hearing our message, so a very important challenge. So to engage these members, we get into a lot of different types of partnerships and relationships. Coffee is a food product, and it can fit in with a lot of different spaces. We work with travel, fuel, technology, entertainment, AAA, and sports and MLB. You see a lot of different types of partnerships that we engage with. But sports partnerships are different, and this shouldn't be a surprise to anyone here in the room, but they bring together this emotion and loyalty shared from fans and guests. And for a brand like ours, it's a really interesting overlap. We're not a brand that people aren't passionate about. They have a lot of love and emotion for our brand, as they do for their local sports. So we sit at this really interesting intersection between the two. And it really has an amplification factor when we look at our work and what it's doing for us. So for years, again, this isn't a surprise, passion and passion for one brand, passion for another. When you put those together, you get something special and unique. And we've, as a brand, Dunkin' has tapped into that for years. We've used it to really localize our brand in local markets. We've done work, and if you're from this area, obviously you've seen Gronkowski. Maybe you've stood next to him, had your picture taken with him on the left there. If you're on social media, you've seen him and Ortiz singing songs in some key or other, not necessarily the right one. And then if you're from elsewhere in the country, you've probably seen sports activations from Dunkin' in some way, shape, or form across all major sports. And we're really proud of that work, and it's been really, really important for us to build a local brand. But we've also come to a place where we need to kind of take a step forward. And after launching our mobile app in 2012, we started pushing that relationship a little deeper into the digital space. We started with our Team Wins promotions, which have been really successful for us. They started with the Eagles several years back, and when we launched that program, we said, all right, great, we're gonna give a free coffee away after an Eagles win. And it was the first year that Chip Kelly had joined the team, and the thing just caught fire. They were just winning. They couldn't stop. They won for weeks on it. There was a ton of excitement and buzz, and this promotion did far exceeded expectations. We thought, okay, great, we've got a sports partnership in a local market, and we've got a pretty good mobile coupon strategy, and it's free coffee, so this should work. But the heights to which and the engagement levels that we saw were just far exceeded expectations. We said, hey, wait a minute, maybe we have something more here. Maybe sports and digital has a deeper innovation or a deeper connection than we had understood. It also gives us an opportunity to kind of branch out into some more personalization. You can see with the Cavaliers in sort of the middle right side of the screen there, we also have Hispanic and multicultural marketing in there. So we're able to also address some of our local market, whereas from a POP perspective or in-store signage perspective, we don't always have the real estate to address multilingual customers. But when we get into the digital space, we're able to extend that and actually address and appeal to more guests through these channels. And then with launching of our loyalty program, we've really been able to push it even further into the digital space. So, we're moving beyond just a coupon giveaway, and now we're talking about a really deep level of engagement and loyalty where we're able to do some really interesting and creative things like we have last year. Down in New York, we had coffee for a quarterback, which, copywriting, fun there, for the New York Giants and the New York Jets. Here in New England, we had the Patriots Win, You Win, which is incredible success, a huge campaign for us. And we've also had some deeper integrations with our friends at the Patriots, with the Patriots 365 program, where season ticket holders are earning credit back towards their season ticket purchases through their spend in the loyalty program at Dunkin'. And overall, not surprisingly, if you live in this area, the response has been incredibly positive. We have had a tremendous engagement in these programs. And not just at the launch, but it continued. So that's one of the most engaging things or interesting things is, the season has a story to it. there's a narrative that builds over time as the team takes shape and their position takes shape, and that story continues and evolves with the brand as well. So as a brand marketer, we get to kind of be part of that story and that narrative, which is really interesting. One of my favorite quotes, because I love the conspiracy theory nature of it, but it's all Dunkin' Donuts' fault. They were losing too much money on free coffee, and they're pulling some shenanigans somehow. So after the Patriots' first loss, of course we were blamed because we were giving away too many coffees. Obviously, in New England sports, there's never enough blame to go around, so we're happy to take some. We got a tremendous amount of benefit, or we're more than happy to take a hit too. And hashtag Dunkin' Donuts Gate, I hope he didn't, trademark that. But so there's a lot of fun to be had, and even when things aren't great, and even when there's a loss and people weren't getting free coffees, there was an interesting and fun story to be had from the guests. The loss of the free coffee that they'd had for so many weeks became another narrative and another story for our brand. So it was an interesting experience. Here we go. And more importantly, so this emotion and this experience, it's always been there. We've always known about it. But now that we're pushing in the digital space, it's becoming much more quantifiable. We're understanding what's happening and who it's happening with, which is a big evolution for us in our sports marketing relationships. Again, we've been doing this for decades, but now we're doing it in a different medium, which has a much higher level of engagement and trackability. We've seen significant organic content in the social space. And when you look at the wins here on the game days or the day following a win, once there's a win, you see social media explode with conversations about can't wait to get to my free coffee. Here's what I'm going to get for my free coffee tomorrow. I got my free coffee. The pictures, the stories, help me start my day with the free coffee. And you're just creating this snowball effect of conversation and positive energy around the brands. And it generated strong member enrollment. So as Tim talked about, we had a large awareness program with a large awareness issue with our program. People didn't know they were part of the program. They became aware that they were part of the program once they weren't getting their free beverage every Monday. So it really bridged a gap. And I think it also created an interesting component for us, which is we're in a QSR industry. We have to go fast. Our crew members can't take time to stop and say, hey, are you a member of our program? Would you like to enroll? Let me educate you. We got to get the coffee out the door. We have to move fast. So we don't have time to engage for the loyalty program. But when it becomes a shared experience, even among the crew know that the team won on Sunday. They're prepared on Monday. They're excited. They're happy to see some of their favorite guests come through. They stepped up their game and became more aware of the program because they know on Monday people are coming in with the program in the card in hand or the app in hand. So it really had an interesting effect on education and growing awareness, not only among our guests, but among our crew members in the restaurants. And I think when we talk about the engagement level, we saw 289% lifts in our weekly enrollments coming in the Northeast coming from this program. And we also saw tremendous increase in traffic, 80% increases in our traffic to the stores during those weeks, during win weeks. So you're talking about the loyalty that we had inherently and really holding on to it and amplifying that. And the sports partnerships are really helping us to do that in the digital space.
Great. So over the past few years, we've worked with a number of different partners, as Paul mentioned earlier, and we've walked away with a number of different key learnings as we've engaged with these different collaborations. So today we want to focus on three areas that have been very important for us as we think about how we structure and approach partnerships with other brands and also sports teams. So we're going to focus on three areas. So number one, tech integration, two, data sharing, and three, campaign design. All right, so first off, tech integration. So for partnerships like the partnership that we have with the Patriots organization, it requires a very deep level of tech integration in order to deliver the personalized experiences that we're able to deliver across the partnership. And so with that in mind, we know that this creates a lot of value for our guests and also for the fans. And the key thing is that as we start thinking about these different partnerships and the technical details, there are a lot of complex links that are going on between the digital platforms. So as we enter these partnerships, it's really important to bring your IT teams into the fold very early on in the process. There are a lot of very complex issues that they need to think through, including user authentication, systems integration, API exposure, encryption. And when you can bring them in earlier into the process, it gives them a head start to really start cranking on these issues, both with the IT team of the partner that you're working with. As someone on the business side, one thing that you can do to help facilitate the process is really start thinking about the data elements that you absolutely need to pass back and forth between the two parties. And once you're able to start thinking through that, that'll be very instructive for your IT teams. And with that in mind, it makes the process that much easier. So again, with the tech integration, it opens up a whole new world where you're really leveraging the digital assets of both partners, and it creates something special and unique. But again, it's very, very complex back-end work. So again, bring your IT partners into the fold. All right, 2, data sharing. So whenever we start talking to potential partners, we always go through an exercise of discussing whether or not our customer bases make sense for each other. So we'll start sharing information around our segments, our demographics, our market coverage. And after we go through the process of saying, this collaboration makes sense for us, we have the ability to use our data on our customers to target the key segments that they're going after, right? The thing is that when you think about what we know about our customers, for example, if we're working with the Patriots, we actually don't know who's a Pats fan within our customer database, right?
Everyone.
So with that in mind, it creates some marketing challenges for us, or at least historically it has. The thing is that nowadays, with advances in deep learning, we can do a much better job of figuring out who exactly, where exactly are these guests, right? So who within our 4.3 million members are actually Pats fans? So for example, if you have the Pats customer database, the Dunkin customer database, you can take a look basically at the correspondence between the two databases or the overlap. And using deep learning or imputation techniques, you can basically leverage the data to figure out who within the 4.3 million guests are exactly Pats fans or customers. And so at Digitas, within our data science research group, we've done a lot of research into semi-unsupervised manifold alignment, which addresses this exact issue where it allows us to really bring two databases together, and it opens up a whole new world of one-to-one marketing, which is what we're really good at. And so with that in mind, it opens up a lot of different possibilities and it creates new value through the different partnerships.
So that kind of leads us to campaign design and really designing better campaigns through testing and experiences. So we've learned a lot since launching the Eagles Win promotions back in 2012, 2013, and we've evolved that. And we evolved that to where we've been this last season with really a loyalty integration. But we need to continue to do that. We need to continue to kind of push this new channel, these new tools for us, as well as our sports partnerships and other partnerships. So when we look at this, it's important to win. So this is the chart you're seeing here is an anonymous market who we won't name and other markets. So winning is very important to the success of our integration in our program. We have some of these activations with other teams in other markets, and when you have a winning team, not surprisingly, you have more success. That is not to say that you can't have success without a 10-0 record. You certainly can. But you have to kind of find your way into that. You have to test and learn into that kind of partnership. So you need to look at what are occasions, who are you targeting, different pricing options. Free coffee is really great. Some folks can't give away free TVs or free whatevers. For your business model, that might not make sense. So finding interesting and engaging ways from a pricing perspective to deliver value to your guests through these integrated partnerships. Sizing and exposure, so it's obviously you need to understand how much fan loyalty and engagement you're going to get out of this. And if you get more than you expected, it can be quite expensive. So you really need to understand and kind of get your hands around the grasp of what this could be. Legal, which is always fun. Branding exercises, when you have two really powerful brands or two really important brands, working through how you collaborate together, how you name your programs, how you develop a nice weighting that makes sense for the audience, and that's really can be a challenge at times. And then measurement is absolutely critical. You need to design your plan, you need to design your program to be measured. When we go back and I look at some of our early work with the Eagles, the biggest mistakes we made around measurement and designing the campaign for measurement, we didn't get as many learnings or as fast as we could have through those promotions then. So it's really important to take the time to design and develop and think and plan for measurement, plan for how you're going to continue to evolve this program, because the next year it might not be as successful if you just kind of copy and stamp it again for the following year. So, moving forward, how do we think about their sports relationships in digital and our loyalty program? Sports partnerships are evolving with digital, and they're leading to something beyond just the campaign. When we look back at some of that early slide, sponsorships are great, really impactful and powerful, huge emotional stakes for that period of time, but that benefit goes away when the campaign's over. Now we're talking about something where we're putting our arms around guests, we're pulling them in through the sports marketing relationship, and we now have those guests as part of our loyalty program. We understand who they are, some of their interests, and we're able to extend the benefit as a brand and extend our engagement long after the campaign, and with much more measurable success. So we really have a strong understanding. So that's a really key differentiator for these types of promotions. Second, leveraging more event-based signals and analytics to drive brand marketing. So the repeatable nature of this campaign and the fact that there is this fun event that everyone could rally around and get engaged in over a period of multiple months, that's a really interesting concept and probably one of the biggest learnings, as we look to the future of our brand and digital marketing. How do we take this model of engagement and repeatable excitement, and where else do we find this type of excitement beyond the sports world? And then finding the right balance of tech, analytics, and marketing synergies. So any two of these, you're set up for success, but you really need all three to be successful over the long haul. The technology components are difficult, they're challenging, but they yield long-term benefits. The analytics, the planning for those analytics, and the robustness of them is going to tell you whether or not you can and what will be successful. When we look at programs like this, giving away free coffees, we have a franchisee-based model. We have to convince restaurant owners and small business owners that this is the right thing to do for their business. Without analytics and without the work of Tim and his team, that can't happen in our business model. We have to be very, very diligent about that. So for us, it's really important. And then again, finding those marketing synergies, finding the right partnerships, finding partners with which you can partner effectively and develop a really robust program. And that's it. I think we'll open up for questions. Right here.
When you go through your, sort of post-analysis, or when you're looking at to measure the success financially after the fact, how do you view that, and what's your horizon? How far do you look out? Because I imagine you have, a handful of people that only get the free, but a handful of people who their per visit spend goes up. So how long do you give that to kind of mature?
Yeah, absolutely, I can take that. So again, the question was, after the promotion ends, how do we measure basically the long-term impact, right, of the program on guest behavior? So basically with campaigns like Team With You Wins, one of the wonderful things about our loyalty program is that we can track guest level data on folks, right? And there are a number of different techniques that we can use to build basically pseudo test control groups, right? So it's not like our offers program where we can design true RCTs, where we do have a holdout group and we can measure out on the performance of our offers and our models. But with an open market campaign like this, there are a number of different things that you can do. You can use propensity score matching, for example, to create the test control groups. And then using these groups, we have a comparison point or a benchmark over time. So we can take a look at guests who didn't participate in the program versus guests who did participate in the program. So typically, we're taking a look at the free period where behavior is generally the same, right? The promo period where we, at least for us, we see the lift, right, in traffic that Paul alluded to. And then following the promotion, we still track that moving forward. It is difficult to measure, to be honest, it is very difficult to measure after the promotion ends, just because we have so much marketing in play. I mean, just given the velocity of our industry, we have a lot of offers in market at any given time. There's a lot of testing going on, a lot of modeling going on. So the reads start to get a little hazier over time, but at least during the promotion, we have a very clean read on things. Yeah.
Right. In the back there, on the right.
Yeah, the
Yeah, interesting question. For us, it's sort of almost a reverse strategy. So we have really strong, robust field marketing teams that tend to develop local relationships because of historical successes and campaigns. And then what happens is our program, because we are so new, we're only 2 years old as a loyalty and digital program and platform, or 4 if you can include mobile. We're kind of following along on those relationships now. So I would say we haven't ever said, no, we are not partnering because of a database concern. We don't have when we talk about the true database integration and true technology work, really the Patriots model is really the only one we have that's that robust now. But when we talk about other initiatives, we're not typically vetting the relationship. We're kind of coming along with the relationship and helping to steer and looking for opportunities wherever they might be. In the back? Yeah, black shirter.
Can you talk a little bit about onboarding and how you sort of make that process easier to get those customers?
Onboarding of the guests or onboarding of the partner brand?
Onboarding of the guests.
Onboarding guests. So the question was talking a little bit about onboarding the guests into the program. That is really critical, and I think it's something that early on in our program we weren't as effective at. This past year, we've really, and over the learnings early on with the Eagles program, we learned that we needed to do a better job. So if you have somebody coming in through this really, really special promotion, it's not enough to just say your standard, hey, welcome to the Perks program, and give them the canned kind of multi-stepped welcome program. You really have to call out the fact that they're coming in through something special and unique that's maybe a little different. So we've modified and done more targeted work and more collaborative work with our partners to say, hey, you're part of this campaign. You came in through this promotion. Eagles win, you win. Patriots win, you win, whatever the case may be. And here's also more that you need to learn about the loyalty program, because the reason they engaged was this promotion. Otherwise, we would have had them before. So we really need to take credit for that and acknowledge that early on, and then kind of usher them into the other benefits of the program to ensure that they stay with us over the long haul.
Yeah. And we've invested in quite a bit of marketing technology just to automate the education process. So through some of the tools in our tech stack, we're able to really test and learn what communications are and aren't working, helping make sure that once guests are in the program, that they're staying active and they're actually transacting and engaging with the Perks program.
I think we have time for probably one more question.
With it.
Can you expand a little on the PATS program and how you're merging it into a loyalty program?
Yeah, so the Patriots program is Patriots 365. It's a partnership between the brands where Patriots season ticket holders who are also members of the DD Perks program are earning credit back towards their season ticket purchases. So as they're spending and then they're engaging in our loyalty program, we're continuing to track that, understand what their spend is, and then give them that benefit back via credits on their season tickets. So it's a really interesting program in that you're talking about incredibly high value guests for us. We now have a strong understanding these are Patriots season ticket holders, high value guests. We understand that they're a part of our program. We're tracking their spend. We're also adding value to them. So our brand is helping to add value to their other experience with the Patriots. So you're talking about an experience that could be 2 separate individual experiences really merging into one. The experience of being a season ticket holder and kind of the fun that comes with that. And then us helping to motivate more and additional spend on our side for the benefit on the season ticket side. So it's been a really interesting program, and the integration has been probably more robust than we thought when we maybe first started. But as we kind of got deeper and realized that you're talking about everything Tim discussed about databases and connectivity and PII, the challenge became a little bit more complicated early on, but we worked through those quickly as soon as we got our IT teams really onboarded and helping us to solve for the campaign. A lot of great ideas start with marketing, but you need your IT and analytics partners to kind of polish the edges and really bring them to life. One quick one.
Just to follow up on that one, was it, without getting too much into detail, is that like basically a simplest form of linking of the 2 account numbers? So you weren't
In essence, yeah.
to scan something that they had from the Patriots on site at Dunkin'. It was just their activity at Dunkin' Donuts was somehow triggering a credit through their Patriots account.
Yeah, so just given, with the loyalty platform that we do have, there is transactions data, right, that is getting tracked, right, in order to figure out what we need to be crediting back to the Epsilon systems. But we run into a lot of challenges just when you think about any sort of a brand, especially if they're a loyalty marketer. They have a number of different platforms that are integrated internally, right? And all those systems need to come together when you're talking to another system that's a totally separate set of servers. So those are really the details where our IT teams really need to be talking together. Again, the issues just around like API exposure, encryption, like PII transfer, like these are the areas where we have to spend a lot of time and really do our diligence. So that's where things get really complicated and messy. But fortunately, we have really great IT partners and helped us work through things.
We do.
So.
All right. Looks like we are out of time, so I want to say thank you for everybody to coming and appreciate their attention.